Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. And today we're going to be prepping the crankshaft. We're going to be polishing it up. And what I'm going to show you here is the procedure we're going to use. We're going to polish it ourselves with, first we're going to use 800 grit, and then we're going to move to 1500 grit, and finally to 2000 grit sandpaper. This is a wet or dry paper. And we're going to be using some WD-40 to lube it up and some masking tape to hold the strips on the journal. Now, just to show you where we're starting, I'm trying to get it real close up there. You can see it's not looking that great. Lots of little lines in there, and just a little bit of wear and tear. But we're gonna try and get rid of that. Now, I have done this before using just 800 grit, and it's worked out pretty good. But this time, to get a little, let me adjust my camera here. This time, to get a little bit better finish, a little finer finish, we're going to be using the three-stage polishing. So first thing we did was we cut the strips about the width of the journal. I want to cut those just a little bit smaller. That way I can put a little bit of oil on it, pre-lube this, and then put a little bit of oil on the side to make sure that it's basically a wet sand. So let's start. All right, so just add a little bit of WD-40. And don't want to spare the product whenever you do this. We're going to take our 800 grit, place that on here, and a strip of masking tape. This doesn't have to be real tight or anything like that. Come on around. There we go. And it doesn't have to reach all the way around. You can see that's not even sticking real good because of the oil. So we're going to go over top and through, and then over again. We use this old bootlace. This is an old mechanic's trick. But for rebuild, this stuff works good. All right, so here we go. And we're just going to go nice and smooth. Add a little bit more oil. A little bit more. Come on. Come on. There we go. Burn out. Okay, ready? Here we go. You can hear the sound it's making. There we go. I'm going to kind of go 4 directions with it. You don't have to go real long. Then I'm going to flip it over. Flip it over this way. I have this towel wrapped around it to make it so it doesn't flop about. And we'll go this way a little bit. Hopefully we're still on camera. And tilt that. There we go. All right. And that's about all the more we need with the 800. So we'll get rid of that. It's already starting to look better. I'll show you after we're done here how that looks. Now I've just been working my way from the back of the crankshaft towards the front. Alright, looking pretty decent. So with our second piece here. This is the 1500 grit. Water down. Slide our paper in here. Set that up. Piece of tape. And repeat. You can see it's just a little tedious. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. All right. There we go. Sounds a lot quieter already with this 1500 grit. I'm trying to get that tucked away. Oops. Trying to, by going 4 direction here, it spreads the pressure out over top of the journal, so we avoid tapering the journal. All right, and we're gonna flip this back. Make sure we're still on camera. There we go. I'm gonna go this way. And this way. Again, you don't have to spend a lot of time doing this. And if it's not as smooth as you'd like it, you can always go a little bit more. All right, I'll peel that off. Again, I'm going to wipe it down. It's going to look a lot better already. Get that clean. And I could probably stop right there, but we're going to go a little bit further with it. Take that off. Just picked this sandpaper up at Lowe's or an auto supply store. Have it using 3M. Not endorsing them at all, but wanted a decent sandpaper. Not, you know, Joe's House of Sandpaper stuff, you know, generic. All right. And then we repeat. And after we're done with this, we'll show you the finished product. Let me go this direction. It's sounding pretty good. I'm not pulling real hard, just enough to make it go. Okay, let's flip it. We're still on camera, that's good. Do this one a little bit more. And that's about it, and we are done. At least that should be done. Again, peel that off. Let's clean this up. And there might still be marks on it, but it's going to be a lot better than what it was. And we're on a budget, so this is what we're going with. Let's get this around here. Let's take another look at that journal, and you can see that looks a lot better. There's still a little bit of a line here, but you can't feel anything. I mean, it is just smooth as glass. Just smooth as glass. So that's it. So what we do is we just work our way down and do all the journals. We cut the sandpaper just very slightly smaller width than the journal itself, and then finish it up. That's good. That's it. So after we're done with this, what we'll do is actually wash it with Simple Green and water, blow that off of there, and then douse this with WD-40 to keep it from rusting. And then one journal at a time, I'll take brake clean, and I'll clean the journal off and clean out all the oil feed holes here, and make sure they're perfectly clean before we start assembly. And then I'll coat that again with WD-40 just to make sure that that we don't get any rust. So the next time you see this, it will be going in the motor. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.